My name is Bev Young. I'm a web designer and digital marketing specialist working with the spiritual community and conscious entrepreneurs. I met Tara a few months ago when she was a guest on my YouTube channel, the Spiritual Solopreneur Podcast. I am absolutely honored to be here today to ask questions of the entity that Tara is going to be channeling. The questions are going to be about the topic that the community has chosen for today, which is suicide. Tara, just let me know when you're ready.
Okay,
Hello, who am I speaking with today?
Becca,
Becca, nice to meet you, Becca. Thank you for being here. We have some questions about the topic of suicide. First, why do you think souls commit suicide? Is there a particular lesson involved in it?
understanding the nature of reality. I learned this once I was on the other side, I guess. I thought that I didn't have any power. I thought that my mother was the end all be all of my life. I thought that I couldn't get out of what was going on. I tried to escape through drugs, through alcohol. I thought that life was just sorrow, darkness, and I wanted out. And once I was out, I realized I was free the whole time. It was just my perspective. And it's taken me some time on this side because the lesson doesn't end. That same feeling of not being free followed me to this world. I don't know, you guys call it sometimes the fourth dimension, I guess. Um, it's taken me a while to realize that I've been free this whole time. It's like lying to yourself. So I would say the soul is trying to understand that aspect that although, yeah, our soul is free, it's always free. It's free to go wherever it wants, it's free to do what it wants. But sometimes it tricks itself either through the world that we've grown up in, incarnated into. We forget that, and it follows us until we remember.
So, Becca, did you commit suicide yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, thank you for being here to talk about it with us. Did you did you do that as part of your soul's contract, do you think, or was it a free will decision as a human?
It's not really one answer, as I've come to realize, and it's taken me a while. I had several missions when I came to Earth. Everybody has several missions, several things that they want to do, and nothing is ever laid out specifically like you'll become a rock star or this or that. Like that is based upon how you want to enact what your mission is or your purpose. And my purpose, one of my purposes, was to understand the notion of freedom. And that can take any form. I could have been involved in slavery. I could have been the slave master. I could have been the slave itself. I could have done a lot of things using my free will to understand what freedom means. And so I had chosen a household what that would challenge that notion of freedom. And instead of I guess I could have gone one way or the other, decided I was free, but I decided that I wasn't free. And I used my free will to make that decision. And there's learning in that, just like there would be learning with the alternative. And it was with my free will that I decided I wanted to end what I thought was this game. I thought that I would finally be at peace, that I could finally be free. Nobody could tell me what to do. I wouldn't have all these demons in my head. I wouldn't feel the way I do, but it followed me. And it's like, it doesn't matter what vessel you're in until you learn what you came to learn, it follows you.
Are you ready to try again in another Earth life?
At this moment, no. I feel that the learning is pretty intense on this side, and I'm learning pretty quickly. It's a lot faster to learn without a form than there is with a form. And I think I'm done taking the slow route.
Gotcha. What happens to a person after they die by suicide? What happened to you afterwards?
I want to say that before I explain this, I don't want to scare people. I'm merely speaking from my perspective because every soul is going to have a different perspective. My suicide is going to be different than other people's suicide and what they saw when they quote unquote crossed over. So basically, all that turmoil that I felt inside, all of that sadness, hate for myself, hate for the world around me, blaming. I blame my mother a lot. I blamed my father. I blamed my brothers. I blamed my friends. I blamed my teachers. I blamed everybody. I blamed even the drugs I was taking. I blamed my drug dealer. I blamed everybody. And all of those demons that are inside of you become the outside of you when you cross over. And least that was my experience. So all that darkness I felt, I now saw on the outside of me. It was like it surrounded me and it was all pointing fingers at me, making me feel so small. But I had been doing that to myself from the inside. And now my inside was my outside. And it was just so intense. I felt like I was in hell. In fact, I would say I was in hell. I was in a lot of darkness and there were a lot of all the voices, all the things I told myself in my head were being repeated and put on this like loudspeaker in my ears until I had decided I don't want any more. Show me how to make it stop. If this is mine, which I had to finally take ownership, those demons, that hell was mine. And I said, show me how to make it stop. And then the learning came in. And that's why I'm able to talk to you about it today. Otherwise, I would still be in hell.
Did you have a life review?
I did after that moment that I told you about. Otherwise, it feels like you're in this never ending. I don't know, I would say like you're falling perpetually, but in an awful tunnel that never ends until you decide that you can make it end, that you can make it stop. Then I had my life review. Then I could put things into perspective. Now I understood why I had to have the parents I had. Now I had to understand why I grew up in the era that I did. And then it all made sense. And I understand that now because if I were to have my life review before all of that, I wouldn't have understood any of it. I would have said blame, 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 blame. It wasn't me. I didn't want to be here. That's not true.
Do you think it's possible that some people take their own life as part of a soul contract to help someone else learn something?
Yes, but again, it's not as clear as that. So if the contract was to help someone else, let's take my theme of freedom. Let's say that I had a contract with my oldest brother, which is Tara's father. um, I would show him freedom through my actions. Now, before I incarnated, I wouldn't say I'm going to commit suicide so that the one who is incarnated as my oldest brother would understand this notion of freedom. It was like it all just unfolds as it should. So I use my free will to understand freedom. He's already in my sphere. He sees what I've done. And now, because it's also a part of his understanding of what freedom means, he can take that as he will. So we help each other. It's a contract of sorts, but it's not detailed on how that contract needs to be enacted.
Gotcha. So your oldest brother are you Tara's aunt then?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you. Um, were you surprised that your guides or angels didn't stop you from dying when you attempted suicide?
Yes. I had actually, like you said, attempted. I had attempts before, and obviously one of them was successful. And I would attempt because I was crying out for help. I was asking for help from anybody who would listen, either on this plane or any other plane. I was like, if God really loves me, he would stop this bullet. He would stop my finger going on this trigger. That my angels would swoop in, that if I was worthy and I was really loved, they'd stop me from doing what they know that I'm about to do. And when they didn't, I blamed them too. That was part of my hell. I blamed God. I said he had abandoned me. My angels had abandoned me. My parents had abandoned me. And here I am in this hell. Like, what did I do that was so awful that I'm being punished in this way? I never murdered anybody, never hurt anybody. Why am I here? And what I know God to be was when I stopped blaming myself. That's the God in all of us. When we start taking responsibility, and that's how you get out of hell, whether your hell is on earth or your hell is not on earth.
Forgiving yourself is the key there, correct?
Yes.
Awesome. If we know someone or even ourselves are thinking of committing suicide, what should we do?
First of all, I would say if there's anybody who is listening to my words now, whatever it is that you are running from, you'll never outrun it. No amount of pills, poison, no amount of height, nothing is going to take away what you are running from. So at some point, you're going to have to stop and face it and realize that you had a hand in creating it. And I know that there are a lot of people who are already as low as they can go in terms of their self esteem, but that's not lowering one's self esteem. That's actually standing in your power to say, hey, if I created this reality for myself with these type of people in it, I can create something different because I'm that powerful. So it's not to put one down and say, oh, you did this to yourself. Yes, I did this to myself. I can undo it too. That's powerful. And power is what you have to remember that you have. You have the power to end your life, but you also have the power to live your life. And just know that whatever problem you have here on earth, it doesn't go away. So, with that knowledge, might as well stand in your power now instead of find out later.
Exactly. Thank you for that. Well, Becca, those were all the questions I had. Do you have any other message for the audience today?
Yes, I know that there are many who feel that suicide was done against the family. It's nothing against the people around you, but those of you who are in that space where you feel like you want to take your life, understand that all of those other people are a part of it too. So you hurt not only yourself, but you hurt them. And I know it sounds, I don't know, trite to say that, but it's true. Sometimes when we want to hurt ourselves, we say, well, we're removing ourselves from this family or this world so that the world can be a better place without me. That's a lie. That's a big lie. You are here for a reason. Taking yourself out lets the darkness win. Don't let the darkness win because you're going to have to contend with it when you leave here. And eventually you'll have to find your light, but it's all your free will choice. So, with that powerful free will, that power that you have, turn your life around. You created this reality, you can uncreate it. Create something different, find new friends, move to a different place, find out what is making you feel the way you do and work on it. You have that power, but it's very hard to do on your own. So you're going to have to enlist help, whether you call upon your religion or you call upon people around you. Strength is asking for help, it's not weakness.
That is a beautiful message. Thank you so much, Becca. Thank you for being here and sharing your experience with our community.
Thank you, Beverly. Ooh. Oh my goodness.
How do you
Wow.
feel?
I feel that was intense. Oh my gosh. That was my aunt.
I know.
mean, I never got to know, I never met my aunt. She passed when she was 17, back,
Oh,
back in I think it was the early 70s.
okay.
So, wow, whew, it's like I could
Have
see
you ever talked
everything.
to her before? Like, have you ever spoke to her before on the other side?
Um, I have a couple of times, or at least I tried to, but it seemed like she was really far away. But this time, obviously, it felt like she was right here, and I could feel everything. Like I could feel that level of understanding now. Whereas before, when I tried to reach her, which is a while back, it seemed like she wasn't ready yet, or she wasn't ready to talk to me, or she just wasn't ready. And now it feels like she's ready. Um, but I saw and I could feel, and it's like, I don't know, I'm like so full of emotions right now. Some of them I think are hers too, but it's like um, everything, because it happened on Thanksgiving. And
Oh,
so I felt everything on that Thanksgiving day. I could see what looked like myself, but it was her. And it was just so much despair. Um,
mm,
and then what I saw afterwards was actually very frightening. But then it was like she had made a choice and it was like this switch had flipped and everything went from darkness to pure light. Like just like that. And it wasn't like you crawl out, it was like it was light all of a sudden. And it was like, is that what I had to do?
yeah.
Like all this time, is that what I had to do? Like I could have done that when I was on Earth. But yeah, I felt like she has tried to apologize to her family members, but also trying to get them to feel the way she feels now, which she feels very empowered now. She can see the bigger picture now. She understands like what real love is, that it's not, looking for something outside herself, but she had to have love, on the inside. And that just like that's like changed everything. That was wow. I
Yeah, she
don't know what
said
else to say.
that it's taken a long time, even
Mhm.
like on the other side, even though she says things happen a lot quicker you
Mhm.
can learn a lot faster over there than you can
Mhm.
here, but even then, it sounded like it's taken some time. I don't know what
Mhm.
time is like over there, but,
Yeah.
you know, it's felt like that for her, I guess, that it's taken some time for her to, come to these realizations and get this learning. So but I'm
Mhm.
so glad she has done it, you know?
Mhm. Yeah, I'm so grateful that we're able to connect to my aunt, um, somebody who's actually gone through that process and could offer us some insight. And definitely anybody who's watching this, I hope this helps to, I don't know, shed light on for anybody who's been left behind because of someone who that who's taken their life. If you are somebody who is on the fence with that, then I do encourage you, just like my aunt had said, to ask for help. Like the strength is in the asking for help. So I know that there are numbers people can call, and actually, I'll put them in the description of this video. If you're feeling like you need to reach out and you don't have a trusted friend or family member, but you want to talk to somebody, I'll definitely put that down there. But I I'm grateful that we got to do this channeling, and thank you to my Patreon and YouTube members who actually voted on this channeling. I was I wasn't sure what was going to come through because I know it's such a heavy topic. A lot of people don't like to talk about it, and I think that maybe this is something that we do need to talk about because there are a lot of people who don't know what to do, and we don't want those people to feel that sense of darkness to where they feel like they have to take themselves out of this lifetime. Of course, we know there's learning in that, but there's other ways that we can
Exactly,
learn.
exactly.
So I hope people have found this helpful. I thank you, Bev, so so much, um, coming here and doing such a heavy topic with us. And
Thank you for having me. It's been an honor.
I will have to go back and re-watch this, obviously, when I edit it to see what your questions were. But how my aunt felt really good. At least that's how I felt, was like, I feel good talking to this person. She felt very comfortable with you, almost like you were her counselor. Like
Oh, good.
that type of energy. Like she felt comfortable and just like I can talk to this woman. She's like a friend. So
Good.
I'm glad she felt very comfortable with you.
Me too.
Um, and
Yeah.
obviously this affects my family too. So I'm thinking about how to like show my family. I don't, show my family this video or just talk about what happened in it because obviously this is something that still affects my family. I know that my father still goes to visit her grave every Thanksgiving. I know her other brothers, also. Um, it's kind of a sad time, Thanksgiving, and
Yeah,
that's next month for us.
yeah.
So
And it's so
um,
close to Thanksgiving
that's
right
actually, now that I
now.
think about it, probably why she popped in
That's
because
what I was thinking.
usually what I've noticed is that an energy, somebody who's been here in physical incarnation, that the times when they feel like most connected to like earth and they can talk, although they can talk anytime, but when they feel most connected is like at the moment of their birth and death. So their entrance points and their exit points. And that was another thing my aunt showed me. She had several exit points, but that was one that she chose to take. But it wasn't, I mean, it was conscious, but it was also unconscious. And it was, it seemed like it was a whole mix of things. But thank you again.
Thank
Um,
you.
if there are other people who would love to be a guest interviewer, just like Bev, just like all of our other friends who have come through on this channel, then just email me, Tara@kittenswaitsandtarot.com. Have a whole list of channeling topics due to you wonderful viewers. I don't disregard any topic. I keep them all on my phone, and my little phone's like note section. Every time somebody suggests something or has a question on something, boom, it goes right in there. So it's a long list. So We're slowly but surely getting through all of them, but thank you everybody for their suggestions. And I thank everybody who joined us in this video, and thank you to all my patrons and my YouTube members and my subscribers, and thank you to Bev, and we will catch you spiritual homies later. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out. Bye guys.
Bye.